Welcome back, listeners and fans. We are to our last segment, last but not least. We did talk everything up to the NFL draft, but now James wants to fill us all in on who came out with the best picks in the AFC and the NFC, and who also came out with the worst picks. James, let us hear it.
Yeah, so just like Eric mentioned, the draft was a couple weeks ago, and rookies are now entering minicamp. So a lot of these guys are going into team stadiums and team workout rooms and learning the offense and getting to their teammates. It's an exciting time for fans and teams all around. So we're going to look at who got better and who got worse, who lost and who won. Today, we're going to start with the NFC. Alex, who do you have as a winner in the NFC?
Okay, so in the NFC, I have the winner being the Chicago Bears. They got possibly the second best quarterback in this draft in Justin Fields. They traded up for him, which I did accurately predict, just with the wrong team, but I just wanted to throw that out. Without having to throw away the farm. They didn't trade everything to get him. He could be the future in Chicago for a really long time after they have not had a good quarterback in millennia, I think. And then is their second pick, they got a right tackle who could have been a first rounder who can protect Justin Fields moving forward. I think the Chicago Bears got much better on draft day.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. Literally all the points you said I had written down in my notes. So I kind of feel like you hacked into my computer and took my notes, but that's cool. Just to reiterate some stuff here, Matt Nagy is a creative head coach. He came from the Andy Reid system. He is good offensively, but never had the quarterback to do what he wanted to do, and now he does. Given Justin Fields will probably sit a couple games before filling in for Andy Dalton, but that time, not rushing him, is going to help him out long term. And the Tevin Jenkins pick, huge fan. A lot of you guys had him going in the first round, but they got him the second. And that's just going to give Justin Fields and Andy Dalton some more time. It's all good stuff. I agree 100%. I think the winner of the NFC is the Chicago Bears. Eric, who do you have?
I have the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, we talked about it. Jimmy G is not the guy. He couldn't get it done. He's had injury issues. A few weeks later, we hear the Niners trade up for a draft pick. All of a sudden, they're getting a new quarterback. They get a quarterback, Trey Lance. He's going to be a good restart for the Niners. Jimmy G is going to get one game. He's going to lose like 36-3 probably, or sprain his ankle. Like, I don't hope anyone ever gets hurt, but, it's just Jimmy G. And from there, sorry, I'm just looking at this highlight. From there, Trey Lance is going to get thrown right into the mix. He's going to fit well into this offensive scheme, and he's going to learn from this season. He's going to get a lot of good experience, and he's going to be the next future quarterback for them.
Yeah, I think barring injury, I don't think Trey Lance will play until 7 or 8 games in the season. Like I said, barring injury. If Jimmy G does get hurt, then yeah, Trey Lance is getting pushed in there. But this is a complicated system, a complicated offense. Trey Lance hasn't played at a high level. He played NCAA D1, but a low D1. So it's going to be a big test, a big change for him. I mean, I love the pick, but I just don't think they won the draft. Tyler, who do you have?
I got the Philadelphia Eagles.
Of course you do.
Of course, right? Obviously, the number 1 pick, Devontae Smith. I think that pair with Jalen Hurts, we'll see what happens. But I think it's got potential to be dynamic. I think that was a really good pick. They got a good playmaker there. And I like the picks that they followed up with. Landon Dickerson, their offensive lineman. I think if he can stay healthy, can be a very good O lineman for them. And then they got a cornerback and a running back, Zach McPherson and Kenny Gainwell. I think those are both good picks, potential really good playmakers there. Howie Roseman, not very good at giving high fives, but I thought he did a good job of this draft.
Yeah, they filled up their offense big time. They didn't really care about defense that much. We'll see if that pays off. Yeah. And finally, Traden, who do you think won?
Who I think won is Chicago, but I don't want to talk about them because Alex already did that. I think a winner, not the winner, but a winner was the San Francisco 49ers. I think that they made the right pick in Trey Lance. I think that he's going to fit better in a Kyle Shanahan offense. On top of that, I like their moves to shore up. I mean, they picked Trey Sermon, they picked Elijah Mitchell, so they're really focusing on the ground game, which is what your Niners are all about. They're about that ground and pound game. The guard and Aaron Banks, the offensive line and Jalen Moore, all those guys are shoring up that line, and they're making it so that that offensive line is going to be strong going forward. They have committed to that game, and I love what they did because it fits exactly what Kyle Shanahan's style is, and I think you guys are in good shape. I would say that Jimmy G is probably going to play. I think to your point, I think he's going to play 8 games. I would not be shocked if he actually ended up playing the whole season if they do very well. I think if they start to struggle, you may see him sooner. But Trey Lance, after Jimmy G takes his leave, is going to fit in perfectly, and you're going to have a very solid team offensively, that fits that style for years to come.
This may surprise you guys, but my favorite pick that the Niners made was not Trey Lance. It was actually the safety out of USC, Talanoa Hufanga. If you guys have watched his tape, if you guys haven't watched his tape, go watch his tape. That guy is electric. He's all over the place. He's passionate. And just hearing his interviews, he sounds like a very decent, nice human being. Huge pick of Talanoa Hufanga, and I want to see him play as soon as I possibly can. So not Trey Lance, but I like him. I like Trey Lance too. Moving on to losers. Alex, who we got losing in this draft in the NFC?
Yeah, it's the Green Bay Packers. We're staying in the NFC North. And, it doesn't really matter what they did, but they didn't pick someone to keep your franchise, the guy who just won the MVP happy, who now wants out of Green Bay. I didn't even look up who they picked, but I knew it wasn't an offensive lineman or a wide receiver. And I was like, that was a mistake. Aaron Rodgers has been asking for this for years. He's one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks. He's been in your locker room for 15 years. He's been asking for this, a wide receiver to pair with Devontae Adams. He won the MVP last year. You can't do it. Green Bay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Green Bay Packers, you done fucked up.
Dude, I love that answer. That was a great answer. Eric, who you got?
I got the Seattle Sea Chickens. They get a wide receiver, Dwayne Eskridge. Russell Wilson, the most sacked quarterback in his last 9 seasons. Yeah, so you need an offensive lineman, protect Russell Wilson, the only guy keeping this team alive since they won that Super Bowl. Draft another wide receiver, I guess, whatever. I don't like him anyway, so it's okay. But yeah, it's no protection for him. Still, they will remain a similar team, just another wide receiver that can probably catch his passes.
Eric, believe it or not, I agree with you 100%.
I don't believe
the Seattle Seahawks. The fact of the matter is they only had 3 picks in the entire draft, and they had picks around 2, 4, and 6. And as you had mentioned, they didn't pick an O-lineman until round 6. Their first pick was a wide receiver. They picked a wide receiver when you have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and run a run-first offense. So I feel like Tyler snuck in and made that pick for them, but they just couldn't change it because, Tyler loves his wide receivers. Mm-hmm. I think that was a huge mistake. Tyler, who you got, man?
I also got the Green Bay Packers. I think they were the kind of clear loser of this draft. It was a pretty easy pick. The whole Aaron Rodgers drama is a major issue for them. They didn't pick a wide receiver until the 3rd round, Amari Rodgers. But it's not really going to matter because if the other Rodgers, the more important Rodgers, is gone, you're going to be fucked. So I don't think it was a good draft for them. They got a lot going on. They gotta figure out what's going on with Aaron. But from all reports and what we seeing is he's on his way out. So Green Bay, as Alex mentioned, you're done fucked up.
You guys are always on the same wavelength, at least 3 or 4 times a podcast. It's kind of crazy. Tyler, who you got?
You mean Trading?
Wow.
You're good. Okay. In the NFL, there are a lot of team/quarterback tandems where both parties need each other. I would say that the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, the Patrick Mahomes is that good because of the organization that he's part of. Andy Reid's a huge part of that. Who he's surrounded with is around that. There's not very often that you see a quarterback that is needed more than he needs the team. Does that make sense? except the Green Bay Packers. There's this particular team. If like Aaron Rodgers does so well, even though they've given him nothing. They've drafted a cornerback in 2018, a linebacker in 2019, a quarterback in 2020, and another cornerback in 2021. And this guy is having no help. The Green Bay Packers are about to lose Aaron Rodgers, and the era of back-to-back Hall of Famers Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers is going to end, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be fucking terrible. You guys are fucking losers. Get the fuck out.
I love your passion, this podcast. It's all over the place. It's amazing. So much energy. I love it. All right, guys. You guys decide who lost in the NFC, the Packers or the Seahawks. It's up to you. Moving on to the AFC. Who won this draft in the AFC? Trade-in. Let's start with you, man.
Yes. So I have the Cleveland Browns. Dude, the Browns did damn good. They picked cornerback Greg Newsome, linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I thought that they were a damn good team, and I talked shit on Baker and all that stuff, and they clearly ended up being a solid team in the AFC, especially in the AFC North. I would not be shocked if we have them winning the AFC North next year. They've done very good moves. These moves are huge. Owusu-Koramoah alone is a huge playmaker and is going to be the heart of the defense. And for a defense that's already pretty solid, really good. I really like that. I really like what they did. They're continuing to build this team, and even if you don't have an elite quarterback, I think that he's going to be good enough because you have the coach, you have the organization, you have all these picks, or these these players that are surrounding Baker and make him look better than he probably is, which is kind of what you're supposed to do. So I like it.
It's crazy because the Browns went from the team you hated the most to the team you love the most.
Really?
And that's the reason why is because when the dad left the house, the kids didn't throw a party, right?
Exactly.
He brought home more kids. That'll help them out with the chores. It's just how it works.
Kids and they're all groomed. They're not wearing baggy clothes. They're groomed. They're buttoned up and they're ready to fucking play football. I love it.
Alex, who you got, man?
Okay, so typically what teams do when a draft comes around, they look at what they need and then they draft what they need. Trading, you fucking nailed it. The Cleveland Browns drafted what they needed. They now have an elite defense in an AFC North that has a lot of question marks with those other three teams. It's hard to say the words. The Browns did a good job during the draft. I didn't know that was actually a sentence that was humanly possible to say out loud. But they killed it. They did a really good job. I mean, I'm just piggybacking on what Traden said, but the Browns have an elite defense that could carry them a long way. Good job, Cleveland. You finally didn't fuck it up.
Love it. Eric.
The best team in the AFC was the Chargers. They drafted offensive tackle Rashawn Slater. And we talked about it. Herbert now has another piece to his O-line. They're going to learn how to protect this guy because the more protection he gets, the better he plays. You know what that means? It means the Chargers will actually win games this year. It means they won't blow games. It means they won't lose games by field goals in the last 30 seconds, which has happened to them the last two seasons. They finally have that piece. They got Herbert last year. We see how talented and good that he really can be. Now that he has more protection, this is really going to help them. And I think that they're going to be that much better of a team.
Interesting. That wasn't even on my radar. But yeah, good stuff, man. Tyler.
I got the Baltimore Ravens. I think
wasn't on my radar either.
I think Lamar Jackson's going to be happy with Jackson. Is going to be happy with their first round wide receiver pick, Rashad Bateman. I also think that they added some really good physical players on their both on the offensive line and the defensive line with Odafe Owe and Ben Cleveland. I don't know if I did the first one right. But two guys I like a lot, and then they added some depth at cornerback late in the draft. We mentioned that the Baltimore Ravens, I think we all unanimously agreed that they needed a wide receiver. I think Bateman, fits that role for them. So I think the Ravens did a really good job.
I went different than anybody else did. I went with the New England Patriots because Bill Belichick got his dude without having to trade any pieces. Like, he wanted Matthew McCorkle-Jones the entire time, and he got Matthew McCorkle-Jones with the 15th pick in the NFL draft.
Is that his middle name?
Yeah, McCorkle. I just love saying it. It's like a salt, isn't it? Or like a pepper, whatever it is.
McCormick.
Oh, that's what that is. Anyway, McCorkle-Jones. He's the prototypical Bill Belichick quarterback. Bill Belichick does not run a good offense with a mobile quarterback. He likes people who sit in the pocket and make good reads and accurate throws. That's what he does. I mean, kind of like Kyle Shanahan's system, where it's like you throw the ball to your dude and let him run with it. That's what the Patriots do. Bill Belichick has you throw short rather than long. Your progression is short to long, not the other way around. And McCorkle-Jones does just that. Throws really good short. The next couple of picks, they showed up their defense. They're starting to build from the D-line out, and that's just showing dominance because that's how Bill Belichick runs his defense. They're pretty much stacked. They're probably going to be it's going to be another year of them being a top team because of their picks this draft. Moving on to the losers of the AFC. Traden, who you got?
Okay, so we all do fantasy football, right? And all of us have like a sleeper pick. We're like, yeah, that guy's gonna be good. I'm gonna wait till the 8th or 7th round to pick this guy. It's gonna be all great. And then you blow your load and pick him first round. Enter the Las Vegas Raiders. You fucking idiots. The Raiders took Alex Leatherwood at 17, who was maybe at 50 spots below everyone else's fucking list. And there's way better picks they could have picked beyond there. And then they went and picked Malcolm Kuntz and Divine Diablo in the 3rd round, who were probably like 5th round values. Like, dude, like and by the way, they traded up to get Trevor Murig, and then drafted a safety in the 3rd and 4th round. So like, I just don't understand. Like, they think they're smart and they played themselves. They're fucking idiots. Like, and the problem is, Eric, you talk about how
what do I say?
Their quarterback. I can't even think right now because I'm like
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is such a piece of shit. Well, dude,
I didn't say he's a piece of shit.
You just say he's not that great. He is that good. He just has to deal with the idiots that run this team, John Gruden and fucking Matt Mayock. Like, he could thrive anywhere. That's sad.
The crazy thing about this is that Mike Mayock used to be a draft analyst, and he would literally like make your mock drafts, and people would listen to him. And now that he's the GM of a team, he's doing a shit job of picking people.
It's amazing.
How ridiculous is that? It blows my mind.
Amazing.
Alex, who's the loser for you?
Yeah. Okay. So typically what happens when the NFL draft comes around, teams look at what they need and then they draft what you need. And then traded my man, there are the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh,
who I said you need to get a Khalil Mack-esque defensive force, and then you draft a tackle. John Gruden, what the fuck are you doing? And then I think Eric might have been added to the Raiders draft room because they drafted 3 safeties. So,
most
Eric,
important player.
We know you love safeties. So, hopefully some of these guys turn out for you. But Raiders just... it's painful. It's painful. You already had a top 10 offense. James mentioned it when we were going over this. You pick a tackle. You need help on defense. Trey just mentioned it. You could have gotten him 2 rounds later. You picked him 17 overall. Oh, Raiders. Oh, the Raiders.
It's amazing. Like you guys just mentioned, they're bad. watch us be wrong and then absolutely just shred on defense. It'll be
we'll somehow.
Those 3 safeties end up playing like linebackers. I'm crazy. Eric, who you got?
Yeah, I got the Raiders. But here's why. Yeah, it's funny. I completely contradict myself like I always do. My main reason was because they drafted 3 safeties. Like, anytime you draft 3 of the same position, like, what the fuck are you doing? So then, 1, it shows they have no confidence in the starter, Jonathan Abram. Second is they drafted this third safety. They had already drafted two very close in front of him. Tyree Gillespie. Like, I'm reading reports about him. It's like they're gonna have this dude battle Jonathan Abram in training camp to see who gets the spot. It's like, what about the other two dudes you just drafted? And then, funny that you say that, Alex or James, I forget who just said this. Like, it's said that they're trying to move one of the safeties to linebacker now. And then, like, they're going to try to move one of the other safeties. Like, oh, this guy could be like a mobile, like defensive end quarter. He could be like a jack of all trades on the. It's what the fuck are you guys doing?
Oh,
It's crazy. I'm glad that we all agree, because earlier I was looking at it and I'm like, I hope I'm not the only one who just thinks they're just being fucking buffoons about all of this.
Buffoons. Yeah, you guys are spot on. What can I say? You guys all agree.
what about
Tyler,
Tyler?
do you have anything different?
I do.
Thank you.
As poor as the Raiders picks were, I thought another team kind of similar thing. This team needed some offensive lineman help, and they didn't draft a single offensive lineman, and that's the Indianapolis Colts. I thought that their first round pick, Kwity Paye, great pick, but after that,
Hold on. Wait. You said the Colts need offensive line help?
Mm-hmm.
As one of the most dominant offensive line that this league has had in the last 5 years?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just shut up then. I guess.
I was like, bro.
I guess my research sucks.
Raiders.
You know what I said then.
Just shit on the Raiders with us.
Yeah, fuck the Raiders. Raiders suck.
They need
Well,
a quarterback.
I have somebody different. I have the Texans. Mainly because the Texans traded away all their best players, but they still don't have a first or second round pick in this NFL draft. And with the third pick, they took a quarterback. And I mean, like, I get the Deshaun Watson thing is kind of trippy, and like Deshaun Watson may or may not play this season, but that's not your main concern right now. You have holes everywhere in every single spot on your team, and you picked a quarterback. Like, even if Deshaun Watson does play, you're not going to win any games. Deshaun Watson's there to sell tickets. The Houston Texans are not going to win a game this season. They're a terrible team, a terrible franchise. Don't even bother watching this team. If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, there's no reason to put on a Texans game at all. Terrible draft.
Oh, well, to watch the other team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do that. But then
You
whenever
want to watch football, right? You want to watch a Pee-wee team take on an NFL.
So
Why did you
if
just
you're
do that
watching
to me, man?
NFL Sunday Red Zone and the Texans come on, turn the TV off. Don't watch it
Exactly,
anymore
just
that
like
day.
that.
Oh, man.
That's my segment, guys.
Ruthless. Fucking ruthless.
Thank you, James. It's nice to talk about football again. It feels like it's been a little bit.